Good morning. Welcome to the Wild Patch here at Wild Patch Homestead. My name is Steph and I just thought I would jump on and show you my garden. I know it's been a little while, but I've really been in between seasons. It really feels like winter already though. It's getting really cold. I think it's like 7 degrees at the moment and it's like 8 o'clock. So things are a bit wild in here. I thought I would bring you along. Look, there's a lot of wheat seeds, so it looks like a lot of grass is growing. It's easy to pull out because it's in the mulch, but I'm gonna get the kids to come and help me probably in the next couple of days and just kind of get stuck into it again. We've done it twice, but the last lot of hay that I got to use as mulch just had so many seeds, and I've always used hay and it has never been this bad before, but that's just gonna happen sometimes. Yeah, there's like bits and pieces. I must admit the garden's been pretty neglected recently. We've been concentrating on getting the house renovations finished because our house goes up on the market in a couple of weeks, and so it has been pretty manic. The garden's just getting by, but I planted most of my seedlings out, and to be honest I've really neglected a lot of them that could have gone out or could have been given away to friends and stuff. But you know, life has its seasons and this is what we're working with. But I thought I'd bring you along, give you an honest look at the garden and show you about. But for anyone that doesn't know, we live in just a suburban lot. We are in a regional area, but we live like in a small town, and so it's just a normal like suburban size lot. We're in a semi-arid zone and our seasons flip very fast from hot to freezing cold. So we grow a lot of fruit and vegetables here. We have chickens, we have like a native garden out on the front verge. I preserve what we grow. I also purchase from local farmers and preserve harvests from there. And pretty much I just followed the saying from Jess from Roots and Refuge, turn your waiting room into a classroom. That really sings to me, and that's what we've been doing. So yeah, I've learned how to preserve, how to make soaps, how to make, I know, medicinal things as well. And yeah, I'm just really really have enjoyed this whole learning experience over the last couple of years, and we really do feel ready to take the next step to a larger property. It's going to be a very big step up and a lot of challenges, I'm sure. We're not buying some big fancy property that's landscaped and everything. It's gonna be budget, which means, because I don't want like a huge, like neither of us want to like just keep working because of the debt. Like the whole plan is to get something so that we can remove a lot of that from our life, and so there's going to be a lot of hard yakka involved, that's for sure. But gosh, we're excited about it. I know that's crazy. I know it was a lot of hard yakka just putting this garden in, but I also feel like it's going to be totally worth it in years to come. So that's the plan. Now it's just trying to get this one on the market and find something new. So this garden is bittersweet for me. It's been my first proper garden, I'd say, where I've done gardening on like a large scale, not just like some pots. But it is what it is. You know, I'm going to keep growing food here while I can and harvesting what I can, and I'll pot up and take some stuff with me as well if I can. So let's get stuck into it. Well, let's start off walking through the front gate. So I've got flowers everywhere. My dog got in, stomped through some borage, but it wasn't terrible because it was right in my pathway, and this one's still kind of in the pathway. This is a fruit tree. It's a peach. I'm going to take it with me. It's still alive, even though it hasn't looked very happy for a long while. This is my calendula and borage patch, which really needs some assistance. But as you can see, heaps of new seedlings coming through. So before you know it, this is going to be just bursting with colour, and all that borage there that's died back is just going to seed everywhere. So even though it looks a bit naff at the moment, before you know it, it's going to be looking really good. So Just traipsing our way through the flowers and trying not to fall over. This is a lettuce I didn't plant, but I'm grateful to have it. It is getting smashed by slugs and snails. I'm having quite an issue at the moment. And to be honest, I don't really have the energy right now to really work hard on eliminating it. So we'll see what we do. If worse comes to worse, and this is not really something I like doing, but I have got organic snail pellets. I don't know. It's just, I've been thinking about it. Because what I have got here is really kind of suffering a bit. But yeah, I've got a lot. I planted out heaps. The kids helped me. I had cabbages, cauliflower, broccoli, and kale, and it's all gone out. But I have no idea what any of it is because we've just like popped it out. So I guess we will see when the time comes. And I have a bit of cleanup. So this is a tray that I sowed just while, in case you've spotted it, I thought I'd mention it. It's really slow. Like, it's obviously looking a bit dry at the moment, but nothing really came up. I've had a couple of spinach come up, and the second I pull them out of there and put them into the ground, the snails gobble them up. But these like little brassicas seem to be doing quite well. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've got some beans coming up as well. These are all beans. This looks like a big old tomato plant that got missed and needs to be taken out. My fig cuttings are doing okay. I've got 2 in there that seem to be pretty happy. But I've got more inside. The chilies are done. And this one is not happy. I'm going to have to completely pull this one out. I don't think it's even just from the cold because it looks vastly different, like from this one. But then this has started to get it as well. So it's obviously a disease of some sort. The season's just well and truly over. And I've got some peas climbing up. I actually planted peas the whole way up this entire strip, but they're little and the dog dug some holes, so that's great. That's my little beer trap. I'm trying. I kind of get like a couple of slugs a night, but it needs to be topped up. Celery is still going gangbusters, which is awesome. This patch here, I harvested seeds from kale, mustard, I think radishes and all sorts. And any of the leftover like hulls I just threw down here as like mulch. But it's kind of beautiful. It's created its own little wild patch of its own. Actually, I really love it so much. It's good fun. Over here I've got another bean. I'm thinking that's a lima bean because of the shape of the leaves and from my other one. But my other one's starting to die back because of the cold, so I guess we shall see what that creates. And then I guess over here we've still got the rainbow chard going. As you can see, I've got some onions. I've got spring onions, kale. Although this kale, look at how demolished it is. It's got aphids all through it. But then part of me doesn't want to remove it because all the aphids are going to that right now. So they call it like a trap crop. To be honest, it kind of works. So I've got these capsicums that are almost ready to be picked, but the whole plant's like falling over and it's freezing. It's getting to like 1-2 degrees at night. I think I'm just gonna have to pull them in. And these tomatillos I'll probably have to just pull because they're taking ages to dry out. So we'll see. My jalapenos are still going really well. They are just gorgeous. I cannot believe how prolific these have been. So for anyone that's in Mildura area, if you go to Uncle Monkey's in like the season, like spring, this is where I got these plants from. They have been incredible. I did not expect to be buying plants from there, but here we go. And I highly recommend it because it was a nice, pleasant surprise. So, and then this is just kind of a mess down here, but I'm going to show you anyway. So my poor things, see, I didn't water them. They're all, because it's cold, I didn't like think about it. That sounds terrible, and I've just been busy, and I think everything's just dried out. I watered it last night because I freaked out when I realised, but the dogs knocked things over, and I mean, I planted most of the kale out. I think I had hundreds of plants, so this is kind of what's, the sad mess of it all. I just don't think, I think it's all just going to get composted, to be honest, guys. I've got that much kale planted out in this garden. It's honestly crazy. I have kept some broccolis for myself if they can make it through the bug damage. We shall see. But see, this is all just like wheat from the hay that we put down. But here's more calendula seedlings fighting their way through. So that'd be nice if they come up, because I think for the sale of the house it would look really nice to have flowers as well out here. But this is the thing, like they come up in like these big bundles because of the way the wheat heads grow. So I'm going to get the kids to come out and help me again. But like really, look, if these guys can make it through, like once they get a bit strong, like they're doing all right considering they've been like smashed. But then, you know, we've got radishes coming up and other things. It's all a bit chaotic, to be honest, but that's okay. It just is what it is at the moment. These I also potted up. These are broccoli. I was hoping to take these with us. Again, if they survive. I mean, there's probably slugs everywhere. I'm not too surprised, actually. There's worms. That's a good sign. I honestly expected to see loads of slugs. I was hoping this lavender would come through. Oh my gosh, it's got, I think there are carrots growing in it. That's so funny. But look, it's starting to come back, I think. I reckon this one might be okay. I guess we'll just wait and see. Can't believe I've still got basil. And yeah, I've just got like a lot of random stuff. I've got a lemon basil over here. That's still looking really happy. Admittedly, like some parts of the garden are just doing better than others. So like check out this kale. Like that's a good size kale. And these brassicas seem to be doing really good. I don't know. That's the funny thing with gardening. I mean, it's the same garden. We're literally a couple of meters away from the other area. Not even. So why is it doing so good here, but not in the other areas? I can't work it out. But we'll see. They're getting there. There's another kale. See, we have no shortage of kale, guys. No shortage of kales. None of my shelling peas came up. I planted them along this area here. So that's a shame. And my dog dug a hole over here and almost dug up one of my peas. But, sorry about the dogs, but I mean, there's still stuff going. It's just a transitional period. My lima beans are well and truly done for the season. I need to get, although, it's so funny, look at this. Just smashing through a big bundle there. They kind of make me laugh, these beans. You think they're done and then they're like, nah, okay, I'm good. I've revived. But I will cut them back. This has been here for quite a few years now. So I'm not too sure how many years left it's got in it, but when it's, you know, all green and lush, it looks amazing. But even the passion fruit down here has pretty much had its day now. She said, thank you. I've got an ice cube tray of passion fruit pulp, so pretty happy with that. So this is a random little rainwater tank that I've got that we turned into a bed. So this kale's looking really nice. This is actually over summered. It almost didn't make it. I've got some spinach beet coming up as well, which is nice. I like to pick from that. This is a herb basket I got from Bunnings on special, and it dies back and then it comes back again. But I've got oregano and thyme and parsley in there, so it doesn't look too terrible. And then this is my sage, which is lovely, and I've been preserving a lot of the sage. So I posted on my Instagram last night, I dug up some sweet potatoes. So I noticed that these were all going, like, I think we may have had a light frost or something, because they just look smashed, and I was getting a little bit concerned about it when I came out yesterday. So just as an experiment, I thought I'd dig it up, and I got loads of sweet potatoes. So that was really exciting. Well, I say loads, it was like a handful, but like maybe 4 of them or something. They're the first sweet potatoes I've grown, so it was really exciting. So I'm just going to leave that there, and then what I'll do is once all the potatoes have been dug up, I will like cut it all up and mulch it and leave it there as a mulch to break down. All my marigolds have gone to seed over here, but look at those nasturtiums in that back corner. I have no issues growing nasturtiums. They grow like weeds. The spinach beet is looking amazing. So none of my, like I said earlier, my spinach hasn't really had much luck here with the slugs and snails demolishing it, but it's okay because I've got all this spinach beet, so it's really not the end of the world. It's totally fine. I'm happy to have like a plan B basically, and that's, yeah, awesome. Smell lavender, scooch past, and this is just a mess of a bed really. It's my rosemary, and then some old tomatoes that I need to harvest. This is I think it's like a wild form of sage. It's very beautiful, but it's all flattened out and kind of had its day now. And then from the other side of the bed, I've got basil that's pretty much spent, and an old capsicum plant that's also not loving this cold weather anymore. My lemon balm and mint are still very happy. Oh, and I did buy this as well yesterday. It was on special from Aldi, and I thought the next place may take a while to get gardens up and running, and I thought then this way I could take like my, I don't know, maybe some greens and some herbs and maybe some feverfew and yarrow or something like that, just to transport them to the next property. So I'm probably getting ahead of myself. The house isn't even up for sale, but I'm obviously really thinking about it, because things could happen quickly or they may not. But I wanted to be prepared, so I have purchased that just as a bit of like a little Mother's Day present to myself. That's pretty much my crazy garden. But like, if you think about it, in the next couple of months, there's going to be a lot of food in here. The snow peas would have grown big enough to be producing. The kale I could start picking now. The spinach beet I can pick. And then all the brassicas and the cabbages will really start to be forming and getting a lot bigger. I think that's exciting. Like, I know it looks really bare compared to what it did before, and sometimes it's a bit of a shock when you're gardening because you get to that middle ground and you're like, where is everything gone? But when you really look closely, you're like, oh, there is quite a lot of food. I mean, I've got a whole bed of potatoes, so we're not going to starve. And I'm definitely not buying things from the supermarket still. You know, I'm picking the spring onions. I just chop the tops off. I don't pick the whole spring onion, so I've always got onion basically for any dish I need. Plenty of chilies still going. I will make another sriracha, I guess, because that's kind of our favorite way to use jalapenos at the moment. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I like being out here. Sometimes it just makes me realize, like, we are doing really well. I'm growing lots of food for our family, and that really excites me so much. Yeah, I thought that you'd like to see gosh, I can't remember how many kale plants it was. It is a shame I let some die in the pots, but I'm not the first person that has had that happen. And I still think there's going to be too much kale in this garden for anyone anyway. I don't think anyone eats that much kale, but gosh, if you eat like 100 kale plants, hats off to you. I think that's amazing. I really wish I had more lettuce, but it's just getting demolished. I had some iceberg lettuce finally come up and I was so excited, and I think they've all been eaten. No, I lied, there's one left out of like 6 of them or something, so I guess we'll see if we get to eat it at all. I'm surprised it's still there, and now I've spotted it and said something, it probably won't be there tomorrow. But that's okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the random little garden tour of our very short-lived autumn. Because yeah, before you know it, the frosts are really going to start hitting hard, and yeah, and then that's it. The last tomatoes and the last chilies will be done. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted anyway on how the garden comes along, and I'll try and do this a bit more regularly as well. I know I haven't been in the garden for a while to show you guys, but as you can see, it's a bit of a hot mess, but then I figured it is what it is, and I'm not alone. I'm never alone. I'm sure other people are in the same boat. Alright, I'll leave it there. You guys have an amazing day ahead of you, and I'll see you guys real soon. Thanks so much. Bye.